Looks like the power's been out for a while. And I don't think it's going to be coming out back anytime soon. And so just, I don't know. I was feeling a little antsy because I wanted to get a whole bunch of stuff done today, but I know, can't really control these things, right? You ever think about how quiet it gets when there's no electricity, no power? I've got the window closed right now, so not even the gentle wind outside is coming through. Yeah. Hmm. I don't know. I guess I figured, since I got nothing else going on, then I might as well write something, put down my thoughts somewhere, maybe journal a little bit. Well, as much as I can journal, awkwardly talking into a microphone. Wow, what time is it now? Well, it's almost midnight. It's very quiet. You know, I think that this is it's a bit difficult, to tell you the truth. I I'm mostly one of those that just it's very quiet. If you saw me outside, followed me around, you would have been like, "Wow, he doesn't say much." I keep a lot of thoughts to myself and all the stuff that happens in my brain because I don't know. I never really had people to just verbalize thoughts with. Just put whatever I'm feeling out there in the wild. Oh man, don't get me started on social media. I've always thought it was very interesting, I guess, how people do that. Talking about like the ones who are able to just carry on conversations and talk and talk and talk and come up with things to say, and I don't know. I just don't have anything to say. Maybe part of it's because I have this weird personal expectation, pressure that everything's gonna be content. Or like not like content, but like even maybe this is the tweet that goes viral. I wanna say the right things and have those witty clapbacks and everything. You ever think about like Hmm. Like phrases. I'm writing things down right now. I just wrote down that we lost power a while back. It's very quiet. But specifically, I wrote down the phrase, there was such a stillness in the air. And I don't know. It's like one of those phrases that you hear a lot, especially when things are like quiet. It's described as a stillness. I'm sure there's people who've done research, but like, I wonder if there's a way to like, how would I say this? Like the quote, "Stillness in the air." Like, where did that start? You know? And I wonder if someone's been able to like track these quotes, these like very specific phrases, and like monitor them through maybe literature. See, like, you know, where did it start? How far did it spread? How many people kept using it? And then at what point did it kind of fade away? It makes me think of, what was it? The phrase, no shot. That's the one. Um, where did that come from? Like, up until I heard the very first time I heard it, I was like, wait, what? Did they misspeak? Did someone mean to say like, yeah, like, did they mean to say no shit? Because that's the phrase that I'm like familiar with. But no, just out of the blue, everyone started saying no shot. I don't know where that came from. But like, because so many people say it, I find myself even saying it now and then too. So, you know, someone will be like, hey, did you see this happen? Or did you hear about this? I'm like, no shot. And like, just, yeah, it's kind of funny how like language develops like that. Oh, and don't get me started on like leetspeak. Do you remember that when we used to like replace? I know some people still do, but you'd replace the letter E with a three, the letter A with a four, and then you would like almost kind of sort of spell out the words with letters and like symbols. Like you would use like the opening parentheses for a C instead, or like a seven for a T, like leet speak. That was that was the time, wasn't it? I remember thinking to myself, back then, how it felt like my friends and I had discovered something. Like we all knew about the internet. Like the internet was where it came from, right? But like we didn't know exactly where. But up until that point, the internet wasn't like a really broad thing. Like people had it, you know, but like it wasn't a daily, everyday thing, right? But for my friends and I, it was like we were able to take a little piece of the internet and make it ours. We could like communicate with each other with leet speak, and even as cringy as it was, would write out leet speak onto notes of paper and then like pass it to each other in class with the thought that, you know, maybe the teachers won't know. Maybe they can't read leet speak, so we're good. Like we can send these secret coded messages to each other. In hindsight, I don't think the teachers really cared. They were more annoyed with the fact that we weren't paying attention and passing notes than the actual content on those notes. So, for a little bit, yeah, I had our own little fun, you know. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, this is kind of what I do. I just have these little momentary thoughts, some flashback or memory, just like a, hey, do you remember this? And then I'll think to myself, like, yeah, I do remember that. Maybe pick one or two like choice memories, smile about it, think about it, reminisce like the old man I am now. Reminisce about the good old days. Hmm, good old days. That's a phrase right there too. Good old days. I heard some of that coming up a lot. I wonder if that's just like a, I don't know, maybe like a human thing. Maybe it's just one of those. As you get older, you look back fondly on the memories, of the past, because in the present you're thinking about all the stuff you gotta do, bills you gotta pay. So maybe that's why people keep saying the phrase "good old days." Sorry, I don't know where that came from. Uh, I did have some dinner, just maybe not much. Maybe that's where the girl came from. uh, See, that's the thing. That's the thing about like when the power goes out and it's just you and me right here. Pretty sure you can like pick up on everything because it's so quiet. There's no background hum. There's no electrical whirring. The fan spinning from my PC. It's just quiet. And then all the fun noises that come with being quiet, right? Hmm. I've got myself a little power bank here. It's supposed to keep my stuff charged. Has a little flashlight on it that I've been using for light, so I'm writing in a. How would I describe this as? Like a quarter lit room right now on my desk with some regular old composition notebook. I don't know if this is gonna last all night. The power outage, I mean. Maybe when I wake up, things will be fine. But last I checked, things are pretty bad. Lots of places still out of power. So I might just be more on this tomorrow. I guess the difference there would be like, what does the morning sound like without electricity? Like the birds, the wind, children, maybe. That's one thing. You don't see kids out anymore. Maybe with the power gone, maybe you'll see them popping outside more. I wonder how we used to do it back then. Like keep ourselves entertained, just do fun things. I remember going to this place, a specific place for, like, it slips my mind right now, but I remember there being a whole bunch of other kids, and then we would just make pretend. I remember very specifically because I noticed a pattern that we would all say we were like playing with superpowers, and then we'd say things like, "Oh, pretend I have this really big hammer that's able to demolish the pillow fort," and then they would swing this little stick, and then some other kid would be like, "Oh, pretend I have the power to make sonic blasts with my scream," and they'd be like, "Rawr," and then they would like do this little pose and crouch down and be like, "Rawr," again. And then the rest of the kids would be like, "Oh no, he's too strong, too powerful." And then they would flip backwards and pretend to pretend to be blown back by the roar and fall down the pillows and everything. And I don't know, just my brain was like, wait, every single time we're doing this, we're starting with the word pretend. And I don't know why that part stuck out to me. Just a bunch of kids playing pretend. And of course, the one thing that sticks out is, my gosh, these kids are using the word pretend quite a lot. Like, come with new vocabulary. There's something like that. I don't know. Do you have any other memories of that for yourself? Just weird, silly things that stick out. I Another one, a memory that I have. Speaking of this topic, I read a post online where someone asked a question like, "Hey, what's the most like mundane thing that you remember, or like the most like useless thing you remember maybe as a child?" And I remember reading one post, one comment by someone, and they said, "I have this very vivid memory of me sitting by a sofa or a couch, one of those two." And then the commenter said, "I told myself I'm going to remember this moment." And then from that day on, the commenter did. The commenter always remembered that moment of just himself standing next to a sofa, couch, just standing there, and then telling himself, "I'm going to remember this." And then he did. And then right afterwards, in a reply to that comment, someone else said, "You know what? Because you said that, because you told the story, I'm going to remember you telling your story of you remembering yourself standing by the couch. And I'm going to remember this moment where I sat here and read you telling that story." And then I thought to myself, "Oh, isn't that silly? They're just having fun, remembering each other, remembering things." And can we know all the dumb stuff I remember? It's that little interaction with those two people who commented on that post. Just some dude, some guy remembering himself standing by a sofa, and then his another stranger, I'm not even sure if it's a friend or not, a stranger on the internet just saying, "Because you told me that story, I'm going to remember you telling me that story." And lo and behold, I remember both of them now. Try as I might to, it never leaves. Yes, this is one of those weird things that'll be taking with me to the grave. Hmm. One of the things that like really bothers me is this feeling that like the whole day has been wasted. Power's been out for so long that I've just been in a state of waiting. Like, oh, just hang on tight, like a couple more hours, maybe like 2 more hours, 3 more hours, power way back up. And now we're looking at it, and it's like a little bit past midnight. Still nothing, not a single word. But I feel antsy. Like I want to do something. I want to still find some productivity in this day. Otherwise, the entire day would have been wasted. Excuse me. Maybe that's what this is about. Maybe this is just me sitting here and rambling, putting something down on paper because I feel like otherwise this day would have been a waste. Sure says something about work, maybe. Now there's this like ever growing, ever present urge, this drive to make things, to create, to work, and be productive. Hmm. Yeah. Maybe I should. Maybe I should just like spend the day relaxing. I don't know. I okay to be completely honest. I did take some nap. Like I did take a nap. Uh, for like 3 hours. Told myself like, hey, I'm just gonna go to sleep, and maybe when I wake up, the power's gonna be back. But nope, power's still out. So now I'm restless, or I'm rested and restless and antsy. At least I got this going. Hmm. Ah. And I see that I may have forgot to charge the batteries on the recorder. Yeah, I see the low battery flashing warning light. Man. Well, guess it was nice to at least put some thoughts down for the time being. Maybe it's a sign I should get some sleep. Call it for the night. Good talk. I'll catch you later, alright? Take care of yourself.